Hello everyone, hope you all are good and safe at home. Welcome back to the educational channel. Dear students, in the previous class, we have been discussing the very important grammar topic, that is verbs. It is one of the parts of speech from 8 parts of speech in English language. And also we discussed that what is a verb. In the previous class we understood what is a verb and kinds of verbs. Is it? Let us glance it once again. A verb is a word which expresses an action or state of being or having. It performs different functions, so that there are different kinds of verbs. Some verbs show the action of the subject. So those are called action verbs, is it? And some verbs link the subject to the noun or adjective in the predicate. Those are called linking verbs. Some verbs work as helping verbs with the main verbs. So those are called helping verbs. Is it? And also we learned that some common linking verbs which are there. Here look at here, to be verbs. To be verb forms. Is, am, are, was, were, shall be, will be, being, been. And to have verbs, has, have, had. And also we learned other linking verbs. Look at here. Look, seem, feel, taste, appear, become, grow, prove, turn, etc. So these are look like action verbs. But be careful children. These are mostly used as linking verbs. Then how to identify if it is a linking verbs or action verbs? To check the verbs, look at here, to check the function of such a verb in a sentence, then interchange it with any to be verbs. If the meaning stays the same, then it is a linking verb. See children, when these verbs, here these verbs, when you interchange with the to be verbs. Where are the to be verbs? Here. Interchange with the any to be verbs, then the meaning has given same, then it is linking verb. Is it? For example, look at here. The perfume smelled divine. Is it? Here smelled is a verb, look like an action verb. Is it? How to identify? Look at another one example. The perfume was divine. So both are giving same meaning. Is it? So that it is not a linking, it is not an action verb, it is linking verb. Smelled, it is linking verb. I hope you understood this. Is it? Okay, then helping verbs, how to identify? Very easy. If which verb comes before the main verb, it means before the action verb, then it is called helping verb. For example, look at here. I am going to school. Here, am came before the main verb. So here am is the helping verb, going is main verb. Is it? And children, one more point, helping verb. The consist of helping verb and main verb is called a verb phrase. Verb phrase means it may consist of more than one helping verb and along with the main verb, then it is called a verb phrase. And it may have a pronoun or an adverb between the helping and main verb. In the between the helping verb and main verb, it may have a pronoun or adverb, then also it is called a verb phrase. For example, look at here. Does she want anything? Here pronoun. Here has a pronoun. Is it? She is a pronoun. So but it has come between helping verb and main verb. So here does want is called verb phrase. Is it? I hope you understood this. So look at the chart. In the last class we studied this chart, kinds of verbs, and also we have completed action verbs, linking verbs, helping verbs. We learned this. So in today's class we are going to learning transitive and intransitive verbs. These are the types of action verbs, is it? And also regular verbs and irregular verbs. These two kinds of action verbs. But when the action can be changed into the past form, is it? So these which are there, transitive and intransitive verbs, regular, irregular verbs, we are going to learn in this video. So without further delay, let's get started. So before that, once again glance the action verbs. Action words or action verbs tell what the subject of a sentence does or what the subject is doing. That action is called, that verb is called action verb. It can physically or mentally. The action can be physically or mentally. It means physical means tell us about an action that can be seen. For example, cry or slap. So these action can be seen. Is it? Crying can be seen, no? Crying? Yes. So the action can be physically or mentally. Then mentally we cannot be seeing the action, but that action is going on mentally. For example, forget. Oh, I forget to bring this. Is it? Here think. In mind you are thinking, but that action is going on in your mind. So these are called action verbs. Is it? So in the action verbs also divided into transitive, intransitive verbs and also regular, irregular verbs. Let us study these in detail. So what is a transitive verb? A verb that does not make a sense on its own in a sentence, requires an object. It is called a transitive verb. So as you know the pattern of this sentence, subject plus verb plus object, is it? So in the sentence, the verb does not make a sense on its own. Its need means require means its need the object, then it is called transitive verb. For example, look at here. The shelf holds the book. Here holds is a transitive verb. Why? Because transitive verb need the object. It's need the object. It cannot stand without object. Look at here, make it divide into these. Without direct object, is it complete sentence? The shelf holds. What does the shelf holds? It needs something, no, here. So the transitive verb need means requires object. Is it? But object not need transitive verb, but here the the verb transitive verb need the object. So here example I have given, look at here. So the transitive verbs are incomplete without object. One more example, look at here. She brought. What did she bring? She brought. Is it complete sentence? No. Here something need. What is that? Object. It needs the object. So which verb need object? Then it is called transitive verb. Another one example, look at here. They killed. What did they kill? Something need here, is it? It is incomplete sentence because without object it is incomplete. So when it is complete, when we add the object. She brought vegetables. Now it is complete sentence. So the brought is a transitive verb because it needs object. They killed the rat. It needs something object here. Without object it is incomplete. The verb or the sentence is incomplete, so that these verbs brought, killed, these are called transitive verbs. Is it clear? And intransitive verbs, simple, it is opposite. How? Look at here. A verb that indicates complete action by itself in a sentence does not require an object. It is called an intransitive verb. So here intransitive verbs does not need an object. The verb itself complete giving the complete meaning and stand alone. It can manage, it can complete the sentence itself. And adverbs and prepositions usually follow intransitive verbs. So when it is intransitive verbs in the sentence, so adverbs and prepositions come after these verbs. Look at the examples. My sister cries loudly. So here adverb, remove the adverb, only you read these subject plus intransitive verbs. My sister cries. Here in this sentence, is it need object? No need, is it? My sister cries. So here no need object. And also intransitive, no need the adverb and preposition anything. It does not need anything. It stands alone itself. But these are extra. Adverbs and preposition also following intransitive verb, but intransitive verb not following these. It stand alone. I hope you understood this. Next, for more details, look at here. The transitive verbs need not have object and they make complete sense without objects. For example, the dog barked. Is it? The dog barked. Is it need object? No. The birds fly. She laughed. The old man died. So here barked, fly, died, laughed. So these are intransitive verbs because they stand alone, they need not have objects, they do not need anything. can stand alone and they can complete the sentence itself. They give complete meaning even without the object. Is it? So for more details, look at here. What difference between transitive, intransitive verbs? A transitive verb is incomplete without a direct object, whereas an intransitive verb makes complete sense without a direct object. So what is the difference between them? A transitive verb is the transitive verb is incomplete. Here see, we watched. Is it complete sentence? We watched. What did we watch? It's need object here. So it is incomplete sentence. It is incomplete without object. Whereas here intransitive verb, I jumped. It's complete. I jumped. No need here object. In excitement, it is adverb. I jumped in excitement. So here jumped is intransitive verb because it stand alone. It makes complete sentence itself alone. It does not need object or anything. Is it clear what difference between? And some verbs can be used in both ways, transitive verb and intransitive verbs. For example, the verb play. Look at the example here. Ricky plays football. Here plays is transitive verb. How? Because it requires here object. So football is an object. So it is transitive verb, used as a transitive verb. Then next, look at the another one example. Ricky plays very well. Is there in this sentence, is there object? No. Here very well is adverb. So Ricky plays. Here the sentence complete itself here. Ricky plays. Is it? ಅವನು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾನೆ. So here plays is used as intransitive verb. Is it clear? And children, sometimes a transitive verb takes two objects. Because it needs the sub-object, then it may be one or two. Because in objects also two types of objects, direct object and indirect object. So it takes both object sometimes. The order of the objects can be reversed in some sentence. For example, look at here. I lent my toys to my friends. Here my toys is direct object, and that sentence here the object reversed means changed the place. I lent my friends my toys. So here the places of the object has been changed. See, look at here. So it is indirect object, and that the indirect object they can change the place, but then they cannot change their features. Then how to identify direct indirect objects? We will understand those also, no problem. Direct indirect objects, very easy to understand these. Look at here. Do you know object means what? All sentences have a subject. and verb, is it? So without a subject and verb we cannot make this sentence. Some sentences may also have an object after the main verb. So after the main verb means the pattern subject plus verb plus object. Is it? An object. What is an object? An object is a part of the predicate in a sentence. It receives the action done by the subject. So here, which action done by the subject, that action he received. Who? Object. So that is called object. It consists a noun, pronoun or noun phrase. So there are two types of objects, direct object, indirect object. For example, look at here. My mother fed her child milk. Here her child is indirect object, milk is direct object. So how to identify these direct indirect object? Very simple, we will learn in this class. Look at here. A direct object is a noun, noun phrase or pronoun that receives the action of a verb directly. So which action receives which subjects action receives a noun or pronoun or noun phrase directly, then it is called a direct object. So it consists noun or noun phrase or pronoun that receives the action of a verb directly. A direct object answers the question. So how to identify that direct object? By asking these questioning words: what, who, whom. Then, for example, look at here. Ricky threw pebbles in the pond. So make the question by using these questioning words. Make the question for this sentence. What did Ricky throw? What did Ricky throw? What did Ricky throw? Ricky threw pebbles in the pond. So here pebbles is direct object. I hope you understood how to identify. By asking these questioning words, then we get the answer, that is direct object. So here pebbles is direct object. We can make, by using these questioning words, you can make the question. Then you get the answer, then it is direct object. A sentence that has a direct object may or may not have an indirect object. So some sentences have a direct object or may not have indirect object. Only direct object have but not indirect object. Is it possible in the some sentences? For example, I received the parcel. Here parcel is a direct object. Why? Because we make the question by using the questioning words what, who, whom, then we get the answer direct object. Is it? So the sentence consists only the direct object. It may possible. And what is indirect object? An indirect object is the noun, pronoun or noun praise to whom or for whom the action is done. So it is also consists noun praise, pronoun. But when we are asking to whom, for whom the action is done, then we get the answer that is indirect object. It receives the action through the direct object and not directly. So it is need direct object. Indirect object need direct object because to receive the action through the direct object, because it does not take action directly. Look at here. Indirect object answers the question at whom, to whom, for whom, from whom. By asking these questioning word, we can get the answer that is indirect object. And it often comes after a preposition. It may come after a preposition or may not. There can be no indirect object without a direct object. Children, be careful. Without direct object, indirect not be indirect object in the sentence. It always come with a direct object, because without a direct object it cannot be in the sentence. Indirect object. For example, look at here. He passed a pocket to Nikki. So here he passed a pocket to Nikki. So here which is the indirect object? So make the question by using these. By using the questioning word. The pocket is passed to whom? To Nikki. So here Nikki is indirect object. Because it comes after the preposition. Sometimes it comes after the preposition. And without preposition it comes after the verb. An indirect object may come before or after a direct object. As before I said you, look at here. Rama gave the notes to me. With preposition it comes after the direct object. But without preposition it comes after the verb. So the indirect object may come before the direct object or after the direct object. In the example, so it comes after the direct object, and here it comes before the direct object. Is it clear? So we learnt transitive, intransitive verbs and direct, indirect objects. I hope you understood. Now we will study regular verbs and irregular verbs. As before I said you, based on change of verb form, the main verbs can be divided into two kinds. It means the action verbs are changing into the past form. They can be divided into two kinds. They are regular verbs and irregular verbs. Before we start this topic, here two students are there. Ricky believes that all the verbs in simple past tense end in ed, and Nikki believes that some verbs in simple past tense they do not end in ed. Some verbs in simple past tense do not end with ed. So Ricky said that my father sold his car. He used verb as sold, and Nikki said that please say my father sold his car. She used sold. as a past form. Then who is right? Nikki or Ricky? Let us see. The verbs that end in ed or d to indicate an action in the past are called regular verbs. So which verbs are end with ed suffix and d to indicate an action of the past form, those are called regular verbs. For example, turn, turned, play, played, walk, walked, work, worked. So these are end with ed suffix, is it? So these are called regular verbs when they change into the past form. Is it clear? So some other example, look at here. So regular verbs can be formed with ed and also ied as past form and simple past participle. So children, all the verbs have two past form. One is V2, another one is V3. So V2 is called simple past tense and V3 past participle. It is always come along with helping verb. Which one? V3. So for example, look at here, jump, jumped, jumped. Is it? And also look, looked, looked. Here what difference between V2 and V3? V2 without helping verb, V3 with helping verb. For example, have jumped, has jumped, has been jumped, had jumped, like this. So next, which verbs end with y? They can ended with ied. For example, look at here, cry. So it is end with y, then you instead of y we should use ied, cried, cried. Likewise, study, studied, studied, tried, tried, tried. Is it clear? So next, irregular verbs. The verbs that do not end in ed or d to indicate an action in the past are called irregular verbs. They change their spellings. So which verbs do not end with do not end with ed, d, those are called irregulars because they can change their spelling. For example, sleep, the verb when into change into the past form, they do not take the ed. It become different spelling. It has different spelling. Look at here, slept, eat, ate, sit, sat, stand, stood. So these are called irregular verbs because they do not end with ed. Is it clear? So now who is the right? Ricky or Nikki? Nikki, because she said that she believes that some verbs in simple past tense they do not end with ed. These are called irregular verbs. Is it clear? So in the irregular verbs also made 4 groups. Look at your first one groups. All 3 forms are same. Put, put, put. Because they do not change their spellings with any form, in any form. Next group, V2 and V3 remain same. Look at here, buy. For example, buy, bought, bought. But here V3 along with helping verb. Have bought, has bought, likewise. Is it? Next, third one group, V1 and V3. Here V1 means base verb. Come. For example, come. And V2 came, V3 come. Again it becomes same spelling. Why? Because here it is along with helping verb. Have come, has come. Which one? V3. Likewise, run, ran, run. Become, became, become. Next, last one group. All 3 forms are different. For example, break, broke, broken. Is it? Go, went, gone. So these we will study detail in forms of verbs. These are okay. Don't worry, children. So only you should keep it in your mind. Some verbs are end with ed and some other do not end with ed. Is it clear? So I hope you understood today's topic. Now take down the homework. Complete the exercise part which related to this topic in English grammar book as well as in English course book. Is it clear? Okay. We will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, my dear students.